So I just made this video once already, but I looked at my own face instead of looking at the camera, which when I looked at it back, it was ridiculous. So this is maybe like a philosophical video that might not interest a lot of people, but to maybe someone it will. I'm kind of a one hat kind of guy. I don't like duplicity. I like sort of a minimalistic approach to life, and so I've never really had much more than one hat. And I'm going to retire this hat and not have two lying around the house. But I thought before I did, I would explain its meaning because it is an important meaning. And it stems from, there's a Bible verse that says, Psalm 90:12 says, "Teach us, O Lord, to count our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." And I kind of wondered, like, what does counting your days have anything to do with wisdom? And it dawned on me that, if you were given a diagnosis from a doctor that you had a cancer that, was going to take you out in 3 months, you would spend those 3 months quite differently than if you suspected that you still had many, many years to live. And even though we can't count our days down to the number, there are ways to count things that cannot be counted. And one example of that would be to say that I have less than 2/3 of my life left, because I got this hat when I was like 33, and I figured, well, 99 is about as high as anyone goes anymore. So if I have 1/3 of my life done, then I got 2/3 left or less, because tomorrow could be my day. And it's that mentality that sort of drove me to a place of retirement, early retirement, where I now have my full work week available to serve others at a local ministry, at our church, my own family, leading my children, my neighbors, my friends, all of these things. And you could say it's a biblical version of YOLO, you only live once. Although I believe that at the end of my less than 2/3 left life on earth, I will meet my maker and I will spend eternity somewhere else. But keeping my mind fixed on that eternal destination has been extremely influential for me to change the way that I spend my money, I spend my time, the books I want to read, the people I want to talk to. And I started thinking this way, let's say quite strongly, when I was 25 and I was leaving Germany. I'd lived in Germany for 3 years. I'd become a father over there. My wife and I had made a lot of really serious and real relationships with people there. And when I left, I was very realistic, knowing that I probably wouldn't be coming back, at least not for anything more than just a short visit. And so I was really saying goodbye to people, in some ways forever. And you could call that pessimistic, but I'm 35 now, and we haven't really been back for any meaningful amounts of time, and so it's been true. And but it really made one reflect upon, like, how did I spend my time? How did I spend my money? How did I treat people? What did I sink my teeth into, and what did I avoid? And I've called that sort of like a near deathbed experience, where it's as if I was laying on my deathbed, reflecting upon my entire life and wondering, did I spend it well? The beauty was I had that experience at 25 instead of 95. And so as I found things that I was proud of, I got to keep doing those things. And as I found things I was not proud of, I got to change those things to the best of my ability. And something I do from time to time, not in a morbid or depressing way, but I will think about my funeral and what people might say about me. Will they talk about how I insisted on having the newest iPhone or a fancy car or a big house or something like that? Or will they talk about my character and how I helped people and how I dove deep into conversations with people about things that mattered really in life? So yeah, anyway, I've kind of been a drab dresser over the years, lots of grays and browns and charcoal, and not really been interested in drawing my attention to myself or anything like that. Just trying to kind of blend in and buy inexpensive stuff. Anyhow, as a retirement gift, my parents bought me some clothes at REI that were along those same color schemes. And it just felt like, this is a new phase in life. And so I did something I haven't done in ages. I bought something extremely colorful that you may have seen in another video already. This ridiculously colored Cotopaxi hat, also with a flat brim, which I always thought was nerdy when I was growing up, but is popular now. And yeah, it's funny how wardrobe can really change our impression of people. You know, I'm a former mechanic, and so I know how to do all sorts of things with cars. And yet, when I was at gas stations on our national park trip checking my oil, you know, I look over and see people who are more wearing like the Carhartt uniform, and they're kind of looking at me in this goofy hat, you know, and I'm just thinking, you know, they're probably wondering, like, does this guy even know how to check his own oil? And so it's funny how just changing your clothes from, you know, gray Carhartt to, you know, ridiculously colorful can really change one's impression of someone. And even when I looked in the mirror occasionally and saw myself, it was like, man, I look like the kind of guy who wouldn't, you know how to check my own oil, let alone rebuild an engine. And so anyway, I guess there's a lesson to be learned there in terms of judgment. But anyway, yeah, it's a new phase of life. We are full of life, and I like the vibrant colors. And although I'm still not really trying to draw attention to myself, I do have the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ that I want to share with people. I was looking for a different way to express it, but ultimately I'm not trying to draw attention to myself, but I do want to have conversations with people. And so maybe the first step is to do something that attracts people. I don't know. But anyway, this is turning into like a video blog or something, which I wasn't intending. But anyway, the point is, I got a new hat. I'm going to retire the old one, but it has a cool story. I had it custom made on Etsy, if you're wondering where you could get that kind of thing. But yeah, if there's any takeaway for anyone who might still be listening to this, maybe a young person who's setting the trajectory for their life, yeah, I would just encourage you to live a simple and minimalistic life. Doesn't mean you have to go without, but you don't need 12 hats in the closet. And whatever hat you do have in the closet, make it something meaningful with a story and with significance that reminds you every day when you see it in the mirror of that significance. And I would encourage you to count your days that you may gain a heart of wisdom. And yeah, so kind of a weird video. Maybe I'll come to regret having filmed this and put this on the internet for all to see. But that's kind of the phase of life I'm in right now, sort of sharing and maybe encouraging someone. So if you're that guy, I hope you're encouraged. If not, just laugh and hit the dislike button and move on.